Let's try that again. All right, calm me down.
3, 2, 1.
Marker. Welcome in. It is your boy BulletPrfGatsby back at it once again with episode 3 of the Ballroom Banter podcast.
The tongue twister there.
This is my first time. This is my first time, evidently. I haven't had a problem with it at all ever before.
Do I make you nervous?
Right. All right. And Marker, what's up, dudes? It is your boy BulletPrfGatsby back at it once again for the 3rd episode of the Ballroom Banter podcast, featuring. We're just gonna keep it. Episode 3 of the Ballroom Banter podcast, featuring, of course, our friend ChyyGuyy. ChyyGuyy, welcome in, and thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Whew. So, how are you doing today? Before we get started, how are you doing today, Shy?
We're doing good. Just living life.
I'm into that. What are you sipping on tonight?
I got given, it's called a Huckleberry Madness Wheat Ale.
A wheat ale?
Yes.
Right on.
It's from Grand Teton Brewing.
Sounds interesting. All right. So, let's go ahead and get things started. So, ChyyGuyy, I'm curious, what was your first ever gaming experience?
First ever gaming experience. Oh. I can think back to being a kid with my grandmother, needless to say, playing Dr. Mario with her on her Nintendo. God, what was it? It had the cartridge and you blow in it.
The
It was
NES
in a 64,
or Super
but
Nintendo?
Maybe it was a Super Nintendo.
The SNES,
But-
yeah.
That's what we played. And then I played, a little bit older, I played a little bit of 007 on the N64, and
Yeah.
I think we did Mario Kart and some Mario Party. And then I kind of stopped gaming for a long time because I didn't really have it in my house. I only did it when I was at a cousin's house or a friend's house or a grandmother's house. And then 7 years ago, I got into gaming again on PC. And I've been a PC gamer ever since.
I feel you. So, I mean, back then, besides, it seems like besides like Mario Kart or GoldenEye, it was mainly single-player games.
Now, no, I don't play too many single-player games now.
Well, no,
A
but
lot
like
of
back
it-
then, like the foundation
Yeah.
was kind of like half and half, like not too many multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Interesting. Which of those is like your favorite childhood memory of each one of those games, or of those games, which is like your favorite childhood memory?
I would say just being with my grandmother. Just hanging out with my grandma. My grandma's one of the coolest ladies out there. And she's still going at the age of 82.
Oh, hell yeah.
She's still thriving.
Still thriving. I love it.
Thriving and being as crazy as ever. Southside Chicago lady.
So you had mentioned 7 years ago, and actually it's almost been 7 years to the day because you actually created your Twitch account on June 7th, 2019.
Oh, okay. See,
So
I was
it's-
wondering. I couldn't remember.
It's actually been, so like 7 months or 7 years and a month here. So I'm curious, what were you kind of going through that made you say, you know what, I'm gonna create a Twitch account?
Well, at the time when I was living in Oregon, I had a friend who, she was a full-time streamer. She kind of introduced me to the Twitch world, and I made my Twitch, and then we started doing some streams here and there. And then obviously, a year later, COVID happened. So really needed that outlet and the communication and the somewhat of talking to people and breaking away from work, because I was, working 10, 15 hours, 80 hours a week at that time, because I worked for a grocer, so grocery stores were busy. We were busy.
Yeah. So I'm curious, when you created your account, was ChyyGuyy something you created for Twitch, or was ChyyGuyy something that you've had even before that? Or has your name been ChyyGuyy, or was it something before it was changed to ChyyGuyy?
So ChyyGuy's been a part of me for what? Since I was a kid, because my friends would call me ChyyGuyy because of Mario. But my first Twitch name actually was Rainbow Panda Shy, and then I decided to rebrand because I felt the name was too long, and I was like, why not use ChyyGuyy? And I had to put the 2 Y's because somebody already had just regular ChyyGuyy, so that's what makes me unique with the 2 Y's.
I forgot that there was Rainbow on there. I totally forgot about that. Holy crap. I mean, and that was, how long did you have that? Because I feel like now that it's kind of coming back to me, I mean, shit. You know, you created your account 7 years ago, and hold on, let me just look. I'll say we've known each other for 6 years now.
A while. Yeah,
wow,
so
it doesn't feel like 6 years, does it?
No, it doesn't. And I think my first 2 years, I was still Rainbow Panda, and I was like, I feel like the name's too long, and I wanted to, because there's ChyyGuyys out there, like the ChyyGuyy emojis and stuff, and I figure, why not use that to my advantage because of my, you know, my IRL name, and then my nickname is Shy, so ChyyGuyy. But yeah, great 6 years. Woof.
6 years.
Time goes by when you're having fun.
Right? Goes by when you're having fun. So you created your account June 7th, 2019. Your first stream was September 18th, 2019. Do you remember what your first stream was?
Cannot tell you, honestly.
Your first stream was a podcast.
Oh.
There was talk show podcast.
Oh,
it was that category.
I think we did. I think I was part of a podcast crew, and we did it. And it was my turn to host, so I did it on my channel. That's what it was.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! Talk about bringing back up memories.
Right.
Talk about memories. Jeez.
So, what were you playing at the time? Like, you said you had gotten a PC. Now, is like as soon as you got your PC is when you started your Twitch up? Like when you created your Twitch, or had you gotten a PC a little bit before that? Like, what were you playing at the time? Like, what really got you back into gaming?
No, I was actually using my friend's PC because she had a whole studio. So I would go over and I was playing. I think she introduced me to Overwatch when it was just Overwatch 1. And then Dead by Daylight. Those were like my 2 main games. And then I didn't get my own PC, until about 5 years ago. Because really? I was still living in Oregon. I haven't lived in Oregon in 3 years, I believe now, going on 4. So it was definitely when I was still in Oregon when I got my PC for the first time. I got the monitors. I was getting things set up slowly but surely. But no, that's why in the first couple of years my streaming was kind of a little inconsistent, because I was using my friend's studio, or I would dog watch, you know, her dog for her at her house, and I would stay there, and then I would just stream. But yeah, gosh, glad it's all coming back. Sometimes I think I forget those memories, but
I'll say we're getting to that point now where it starts to get a little fuzzy, man. It starts to get a little fuzzy.
I got a birthday next week. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting another year older. What else is gonna leave me?
Yo, Jay Stuns, I saw, dude. How are you doing tonight, man? Welcome, man.
Hi, Will.
Excuse me. So yeah, your first couple streams were the podcast talk show host. Do you remember what games? I think you already said, you know, Overwatch and DBD. Do you think those are the first games you actually started playing on stream when you started, you know, gaming on stream?
Yes, those are the first games I've ever played on mouse and keyboard. That's all I play. Like before, you know, it was controller back in the day, and now I'm strictly mouse and keyboard. And I know people who obviously play on PC and they still use a controller. I'm like, no, I'm mouse and keyboard all the way. I've gone through 5 keyboards in the last 7 years because my WASD is so worn out because
they don't even click anymore.
You know, they got faded super fast. Luckily, I know my keyboard really well, but you know, I've gone through a couple mouses. I will admit I broke one before Think I broke one on stream? No, it wasn't, because I would never do that. But I broke
anytime
a
you
mouse.
play something comp, you know, it's bound to happen. I mean, not even saying that you like slam it, but maybe you give it a little extra hard press or something like
I was
that.
pissed. I was pissed. I fucking chucked it down, and then nothing would move. I was like, well, it's a good thing I keep backup mouses, you know, on hand.
Right, you always got, so you had to pull out that little Mad Catz, like little baby mouse that you had in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it happens to the best of us. I wish I could say I'm above it, and like I only did that when I was a child, but it was before the PS5 came out. I'll at least say that. But it was a PS4 controller. It was the red translucent one, and I think it was me and Futzy. Which, you know, me and Futzy, you've heard us talk to each other, so
I've heard enough. Yeah.
he was giving me the business one time on MK11. And it's not even that I hurt the controller, I just slammed my fist down, but the controller's in my hand, so the bottom of it just shattered.
Yeah.
And then once I saw that it was shattered, I'm like...
just finish
like,
it off.
It's already fucked. Like, it's already fucking broken, you know what I mean? It's fucked. Yeah. Like, I'm at least gonna, you know, get the catharsis out of it. But again, like I said, that was the PS4 days, hasn't happened since, because controllers are only getting more and more expensive.
They're not cheap. Trust me, I will never break another mouse, because especially gaming mouses, like, yeah, no.
Because when I bought that controller, it was only like $40. You can't even think about buying a controller for $40. You'll get laughed at. I think they're like, just about all of them are like $80 now. It's like, fuck.
Oh, I bought one of my ex-boyfriends a controller once because he broke one in front of me. And I said, you better cherish this thing, because I'm not buying another one, because it was fancy. Like, I got him a fancy one. I'm a nice person in a relationship. He got a lot out of me, but that thing was expensive.
What, like one of the scuffs or something?
Yeah, it was pricey, but you know, here, there, you know, we don't need to talk about that part. But yeah, I understand the controller.
No, I totally get that. You do. Yeah. Let's go ahead and skip on past that. So, fun fact about you and your Twitch career: you have had 327 streams. Can you believe that? Well, probably 328, because did you stream last night? You streamed last night.
I sure did. I did stream last night.
Okay, so this is as of before yesterday.
Yeah. Well, technically it'd be 329. I streamed for a little bit Friday, but I was too tired, so 329.
Okay. So yeah, 329. And as of when I wrote this down, I think I wrote this down yesterday morning, I think. When I called you, I was writing this stuff down. So it should have Friday in there. You had 1,138 hours streamed. Can you believe that?
I can't. It is. And that's even taking, I was taking 2 breaks. I think I've taken 1 year off before. And then I took one off when I did the move from my old state to where I'm at now. I had a break in between. Because of my job. You know, I don't stream as much as I want to, but I think I do. The 2 days that I do, sometimes 3 days, I think that's a good cushion for me. Just for myself, because streaming does take a little bit of work. You know, it takes a lot to entertain other folks. You know, you can't come in if you're having a bad day, or you're just, you know.
Yeah, and you don't want to be like super low energy or anything like that, you know? Like, no, I totally get that, yeah.
So my Friday was a short stream. I was like, I can't do this. I'm too exhausted. Sorry, guys.
We've all been there where we're like, I wanted to stream, so I'm going to stream. And then you stream anyway, even though you're not really feeling it. And then, excuse me, an hour goes by and you're like, I'm still not feeling this. I thought I would have like got some pep in my step or something by this point. And it just, you know, some days you do need a break, you know?
Yep.
And that's totally fair. We all go through it, you know? Also, another little fun fact, did you know you're in the top 3% of Twitch streamers in the world?
I'm sorry, what?
You are in the top 3% of Twitch streamers in the world.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Your top 200K in the world, your top 100K of an English-speaking channel.
Nice. Good. I did not know that. That's cool.
I want to say right around 80K. I don't know. I didn't write those numbers down, and I don't know why I didn't.
No, but that's still amazing. Like, because sometimes I don't feel like I stream enough or give enough that I would ever land in any of those categories.
No, I don't know what metric they measure that by, or what makes you top whatever number or anything, but that's what the thing told me, and I'm like, huh, interesting.
If that's what the thing said, we're gonna take it. Yeah, we're gonna take it and run with it. I'll take it. Shit.
Mm-hmm. So you have streamed 44 different games on your Twitch at this point, or well, I guess not games, but 44 different categories, games, whatever, like just chatting, podcast stuff. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, which is funny because out of the 44 games, 6 games have 85% of the over 1,000 hours you've streamed on Twitch. 6 games.
I would say
have 85%.
I would say one of them is Dead by Daylight for sure.
Do you think Dead by Daylight's your number one?
I don't know if it's my number one. It might be.
I think I have more hours. Your number one is?
I feel like I have more hours on DBD, but I also do a lot of offline gaming. So it could be between DBD, Overwatch, maybe Marvels now because of just how big Marvels has come. And I mean, hell, we're already in season 9, so.
Right.
But go ahead. What's my number one?
Your number one is DBD at 381 hours stream. That's 34% of your overall stream time. So what really resonated with you when it comes to DBD? What made you really resonate with DBD? Did you ever play A-Sims before that? I mean, I guess it was kind of it wasn't the very first, but it was one of the first. And there have been a bunch of A-Sims that have come out since then. Have any other A-Sims really resonated with you at all? Or if not, what makes DBD just stick out so much to you?
I don't know. DBD, I mean, I will see in the earlier years, it wasn't as extreme as it is now. Sometimes things can get a little cray-cray, a little toxic. I won't lie, it can be a little bit.
Just gets more and more sweaty over the years.
Yeah, I mean, with all the new releases of, killers and survivors and stuff, and, I think that's a big part. I mean, to think that I've also been playing that game for the last 7 years, it's crazy to see the different changes of, the killers they bring out, and understanding, like, licenses they lose. Like, Stranger Things at one point was, like, you couldn't order Stranger Things anymore, or play that map because of the licensing, especially when the show was out. And of course, when the show ended, they gained back those licenses. And like right now, Michael Myers, you can't play Michael Myers because they're supposed to come out with the Michael Myers game. It was, and then like now that Friday the 13th has died off, Jason's now added to DVD, and that's a big part right now. At one point, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was out because of that game. I played the game when it came out. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know. Like, it wasn't for me in a sense. Like, yeah, it was kind of like DBD in an instance, but not like DBD. But it definitely maybe now if I tried it again, now that maybe they've worked out a lot of bugs and all the stuff that was going on in the game, maybe it'd be a little bit easier. But it wasn't for me. And I also don't like. I'm weird. I don't like learning new games most of the time. I like things that kind of feel the same. So like going from Overwatch to Marvels was a little bit easier because it's in the sense the same, where you have tanks and support and damage, but yeah, they're new characters. There's different abilities. There's different buttons, but it felt familiar, if that makes sense.
Right. I get you. So when you play DBD, do you like play a mixture of both? Are you mainly killer? Are you mainly survivor?
I would say I'm mainly a survivor, but I have dabbled a little bit in the killer side. Especially when they bring out the 2v8s. The 2v8s are fun to play with, especially if you have a friend to play with. You both can play killer, and have that communication of where people are and stuff. But I have done some killer games, and they're a little sweaty. It also could be like where I stand in the game and how many hours and prestiges and stuff. So it's not like I'm getting in a game with brand new survivors where it's a little bit easier, but it's all right. It's a little
So-
cray.
Do you have mains in DBD?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. So, with the survivors and the killers, you could prestige them up to, we call it P100. So, you can play each character, you earn blood points, and then you go through and up prestige them. So, I actually have a prestige 100 of Victorio, which in my fair point, I only play these characters because I think they're hot or they're cute enough for me. So Victorio's one of my main ones. He's my P100. David King, I play David King a lot. He's my next one. I want a P100. I try to play different survivors just to learn their perks because each survivor has a perk that you can use that kind of helps with the game, and so I've been trying to go back through and get everybody to at least P3 because that way you unlock all their perks and it's like to its full capacity. So that's been something I've been doing. I've been also trying to do oh my gosh, I'm blanking what it's called. But basically you play a character, you play the 3 perks. Adept, so you adept a character. So I went through and done some of that, and I've actually adapted 7 or 8 so far out of, I think there's like 30 survivors now, something like that. So I've been having fun doing kind of those little challenges just to spark up and not get bored with the game. And I am getting better of looping killers and getting away and stuff, so that's make me feel good, because before I would always die first or be gone first, and now I'm actually able to last a little bit longer, and the people I play with, we're all very experienced, so we all kind of help each other out, and it's good stuff. I like the game. Despite what anybody says, I do enjoy the game. Yes, it can be frustrating. It can be very frustrating, but I do enjoy the game.
You don't love a game unless you've cussed at it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, my roommates have heard me screaming in my room because of shit. Like, if I can't go back and be pissed off and cuss out somebody or whatever and come back to it, then
Right on. So this one's kind of weird because just like you said, you started playing Overwatch when it was still Overwatch, just original Overwatch. And then when Overwatch 2 came out and like migrated everything over, it actually made a different category on Twitch. So it actually, you have 2 Overwatch categories that are split. So technically it's your 3 and 4, but if you add them together, it's your second. And so Overwatch is your second at 138 hours and 112 hours, which you mix those together, that's 250, I think, which is 12% and 10% or 22% of your entire streamed hours. So I am curious, when the big split happened and the sequel came out, I mean, I know they ended up kind of reverting everything back and just called it Overwatch. What do you think was the golden years of Overwatch? Because I know a lot of people were upset with Overwatch 2 when it first came out. Like, how did you feel about the transition process of that?
I thought it was a little weird. I mean, yeah, because they brought in new characters, obviously. I mean, all games always will bring in a new character at some capacity or at some point. Right. I think more people were upset with it when it came to comping. I didn't really comp in Overwatch. I never was that person that I wanted to comp. Right. And then I think I did maybe a season of comping, but it wasn't consistent enough to really care about it. I don't even know why I got into comping in Marvel, to be completely honest with you, but then I do that now, and that could be very frustrating. Not really impressed with the way they did their comping ranking, which it makes sense, but it doesn't. It's also frustrating. And I think Overwatch is kind of doing the same thing, as I think now Overwatch is copying Marvel in that sense of placements, because they never did that. And I think now, at least with the recent 2 updates, they started, Overwatch has started doing it. Just speaking from friends who play it now, that comp,
So
I don't know.
When do you think was the golden era where like Overwatch was simply on top? Like, what do you think, like, for you personally, when was Overwatch?
I think Overwatch 1 all the way. I mean, the old maps, those old maps were fun. I mean, 2 was good. I mean, I didn't dislike it. I mean, yeah, they changed the maps and stuff, and now it's completely different. Because every once in a while, I'll jump on it, and it's completely different. Because now you could do like add-ons to your character of certain things that wasn't a thing.
Right.
But I would definitely say Overwatch 1 when it was in its prime. Because there wasn't really too many other games like it. At least I don't think there was. In that sense of how that game style was. And then they did Overwatch 2. And I think, people were upset about it and people still played it. And then, I mean, hell, when Marvel Rivals came out, you lost a lot of Overwatch players to Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. Which honestly is kind of the perfect segue, because that is technically your number 2. Like I said, you add the 2 Overwatch categories together, it makes it number 2. But your number 2 on paper is actually Marvel Rivals at 152 at 13%. And just like you said, they're cut from a very similar cloth of, what is it, DPS, tank, and support, which they call them different things or whatever.
Yeah.
But when Marvel Rivals came out, what was one of the things? Was it just because it felt similar to Overwatch and it was new? Is that what really drew you to Marvel Rivals? Would you consider yourself like a big Marvel fan? Like, is that what really like?
I wouldn't
spoke
say
to
I'm a
you?
big Marvel fan. I would say I'm a Marvel fan. I wouldn't say a big one. Like, this is controversial, and I know it is. I don't really care too much of the whole Marvel DC thing. I watch a lot of the movies. I like the movies for what they are. It's never been, Marvel is better than DC or DC's better than Marvel. I know that's a controversy. Some people might attack me for it.
I know, right? You have to pick a side and then hate the other.
But,
stupid.
Yeah, like, I've seen, I watch Batman movies. I watch, I watch Batman when it's George Clooney. I saw some with Michael Keaton as well. So, Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the Freeze Man, or it's just Uma Thurman playing Ivy. I've seen those movies, and I've seen the original Iron Mans and the Avengers, and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just it's never been one of those I hate one or the other. It was an equal balance, but I like that it was Marvel characters, and it kind of makes me now think and go, oh, I didn't realize this person was a Marvel character. Like, where's their origin story from? And is this something that I missed in the movie? Because most of them have popped up in movies. I know a lot of them are comics, which I haven't really read in the comics, but it's cool to see that and then do the research of it and understand. And I'm like, their newest character they added, Jubilee. Jubilee's added to it. She wasn't part of the X-Men, but she was in that storyline of X-Men because she was part of.
Yeah, she was in the X-Men 97 show. Back when we were kids.
So it's just cool about that, and see them bring in people and stuff.
So I guess this is kind of for Rivals and for Overwatch. Do you have what is the distinctions? Are they types or tiers, or how would you classify the differences between DPS and tank and support? Different classes?
No, I would say they're about similar. I mean, you do things as tanks. You have shields and stuff you put up, and then damage. You always want the most damage. I mean, there's some damages that are not the strongest, but you have people who flank around. Support is about the same. There's some characters that you can match. For instance, we'll use this. Squirrel Girl is kind of like Junkrat in Overwatch in the sense of the bombs. Yeah, she shoots nuts, but Junkrat shot bombs.
Been there.
And his Junkrat's ult is a wheel, explosive wheel, and Squirrel Girl's ult is a bunch of squirrels coming to attack you. So it's kind of similar to that. The only thing I wish with Squirrel Girl is when she dies, it sets off like bombs like Junkrat did, because you can still kill people because they were dumb enough to stay around and they got killed by a Junkrat. That's my only complaint. But other than that, that's how I would see that similarity.
So would you what type like DPS, tank, or support, which one do you think is your main, or do you kind of just go where you're needed depending on how your team is built?
I usually go where I'm needed, but my heart will always be support.
Heart will always be support, and that's for Rivals and Overwatch?
No, that's just for Rivals. In Overwatch, I was more of a DPS.
Really?
Overwatch, I was a Junkrat or Soldier or Bastion. Like, I wanted to be damaged.
Mm-hmm.
I fiddled around with tank a little bit, and I played Renata, and I think I played somebody else. I can't remember, and then support. I would play support. I mean, I would try my best as Mercy or Mora. I did like Ana for a little bit, but I would definitely say Overwatch was more of a DPS person, and then Rivals, my heart support. But I'll play whatever I need to play.
Right. Do you think it's easier to switch between DPS, tank, and support in Rivals versus Overwatch? Do you think like the lines are a little less blurred, or a little more blurred, I guess, rather than important distinctions than in Overwatch?
Yeah, because in Overwatch you have to select a role before you even get into a game. So when you're queuing for a game, it gives you which you want to queue for. So say that like I queue for DPS and I want to switch to support, we would have to leave the game entirely, come back as a group and reselect what we wanted to. As in Rivals, you can make the switch within the game if you have to. So if you're playing with a full six stack, you can say, hey, I need to get off tank, can I go to support? And somebody would swap with you. And you can make that switch easily in the game and not have to unqueue, go back out type thing. Like you can have up to 3. You can play all supports if you want to in Rivals. You can play all tanks in Rivals or DPS. You can't do that in Overwatch. So there's that easiness to, hey, this isn't working out. We need to do a full swap of who's doing what, and we'll go to our strongest characters and we'll do that. And that's what I like about Rivals, because you could do that in the middle of the game. We have to. Right. Like, hey, I need you to get off support. Let me support. I need you to go to DPS.
Right. I actually did not know that.
Yes, sir.
So, besides Rivals, or besides like, just the traditional matchmaking of Rivals and Overwatch, did Overwatch have any like party modes? Like, because I know Rivals has like the zombies mode.
Yeah, they bring in the zombies. You can even do arcade. Overwatch, like you could do like, I think there was a party. If I remember correctly, there might have been different things you can do. I know they do something around Halloween. They do like a little thing you can do for Halloween. I mean, Marvel's kind of does it. They do something every season though too, so it's not just like strictly zombies. I mean, all the different events. I feel like Rivals opens up a lot too for events. That way you can get skins, a lot of skins without buying skins. With Overwatch, you have to like buy it. Now, am I guilty of buying a battle pass every season on Rivals? Yes, I am. I already bought one, and the season's only been out for, I don't know, 2 weeks, and I'm almost done with the battle pass. But that's besides the point.
Okay.
But that's besides the point. But, I mean, I bought battle passes in Overwatch too, and then when I stopped playing it, I was like, I'm not spending my money on this, of something that I'm not going to play,
Fair. Do you foresee one day Marvel Rivals overtaking DBD as your #1 most played game?
No, I have too many friends. Too many of my friends that I play online with that we all play about the rise of same games of Rivals and DBD. So it's one of those things that it's not like I'll ever leave DBD in the dust like I did Overwatch. DBD is always going to be there. There's always an update. There's always an event to get blood points or do stuff. It keeps me reeled in, I should say.
Okay. So it is kind of, excuse me. So it's kind of funny how you talked about how Overwatch had changed over the years, with all the recent additions they've added here within the last year or so, or however long. Because your number 4, or I guess technically your number 5, because that's right, Overwatch is 3 and 4 technically. Your number 5 is Fortnite, and boy oh boy has Fortnite changed very much over the years.
And see, I started Fortnite when the no build came out because I refused to play with the builds. I actually started playing on my Switch because I was away for work and I was in my hotel room, and I would hook up my Switch and play Fortnite that way with my friends still. I get on Discord on my phone, be talking on Discord and be playing, on the Switch, and then I've done it on my PC, yes, and there's been so many changes. Just it, I don't know. I feel like playing solo is okay, but it's funner. I think it's better with friends.
Oh yeah, of course.
Just because, I mean, but like I can play comp of Marvels by myself and not be mad about it. Like,
Right.
I'd rather be mad at myself than my friends, and I never get mad at them. But it's more of, especially because we all end up in different ranks anyways, so you kind of gotta play the grind to be able to make it there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Fortnite's one of those fun games to pick up every once in a while. Like I think I did a stream of Fortnite like a month ago, and I haven't done one of those in a while.
So when it comes to Fortnite, do you have a favorite season?
I can't even tell you that because I don't pay attention too much. I couldn't
curious.
tell you.
So speaking of Fortnite, there's so many different skins. Do you have like your favorite skin that you use in Fortnite that you use the most?
No, because I change a lot through them. I mean, because like I think right now my skin right now would be Uma Thurma from Kill Bill. They put that on there as what was her name? Kitty? Beatrice? Whatever her name was.
Beatrice Kiddo. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's what I have on right now. But I've had the Eminem one on. I've had all kinds of just different ones on. So I don't think I have a favorite skin. I think they're all kind of just...
So there's a question right there. How many Fortnite skins do you think you own?
Probably too many. Well, no, I wouldn't say that because I'm not on it all that time. I know there's people that have way more than I do.
Well, of course, yeah.
I have enough. We'll say that.
It's enough. Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Enough.
So
I know.
Hold on. Let me rewind a little bit to Marvel Rivals because I forgot to ask because I know you said you kind of switch over to wherever you need to be. Who would your mains be in Marvel Rivals depending on which class you played as?
So if I'm tanking, I have two. So I either play Strange or Penny.
Okay.
DPS would be Storm, Squirrel Girl. I've gotten to love Scarlet a lot lately. I dabbled a little bit in Punisher, Namor, Hela. And then my support would be... I mean, my most played support is actually Invisible One right now because I was a Visible Woman main. I was Sue. And then Cloak and Dagger. I play a lot of Cloak and Dagger. Jeff. I have Jeff. I love my Jeffy. Rocket's good too. I've been learning Luna Snow lately. So there's not one person specifically I play. I mean, if I have to, put in the work, if things aren't going so well and I'm on DPS, I'm gonna bust out my Squirrel Girl because I know I can fuck people up. If I want to heal really well, I'll play Cloak and Dagger. Those would be the two. I just started getting into tanking, so I haven't really experienced any others. I did play Venom last night for the first time because I was streaming with another streamer and we had a shuffle going on, so we had to play characters that none of us have ever played. So, and I played Venom, and I was like, I don't understand this guy at all. I know he's annoying playing against them.
Right. So I'm curious about this. When it comes to Marvel Rivals, are there any Marvel characters that are not in the game that you would like to see added because you either like them or you think they could have really interesting gameplay potential?
I don't know. Everybody's pretty much in right now that I know of that it's a Marvel character that I can speak to in other names, I should say. Right. There's not anybody else that I haven't really thought of that's been in it because like they have Ultron, they have, most of. I mean, I think it'd be funny if they added Thanos. I think that would be funny to have Thanos in it.
What would Thanos? Thanos would be a DPS though, wouldn't he? He'd have.
No, he'd be a tank. He would be a tank. He'd be
or a tank. Yeah, that's true.
I think that would be interesting, but like pretty much everybody is really in there because like they have all of the Guardians of the Galaxy on there. They have pretty much almost every Avenger, really. At least the original Avengers, if you think about it, with Iron Man, Captain, Black Widow, Hawkeye. I think they have a lot of those. So I wouldn't know. And they have a lot of the X-Men on there too. Because they just recently, did Rogue and Gambit. They have Wolverine. They have Magneto. They have Storm, Cyclops. I don't think Professor X should be. He doesn't really do fighting, so I don't see why they would put Professor X in there. So,
Nah, never mind. No Professor X jokes. Let's just put that one in the back pocket.
Just put that in your back pocket.
Yeah. Okay. So, moving right along to your number 6 category. We only went down to 7 because up at 7, it's around 50 hours or so. And then below that, it's down to like less than 20, like around 10 or 15 or so. So something you might have played once or twice on stream. But these are definitely games that you've played frequently. So your 6th category would be just chatting at 51 hours or 5% of your overall stream time.
Well, a lot of that has to do with you guys too. I mean, the game, there was a lot of us just streaming and just chatting and things that I've been part of that I've been invited to, and usually asked if I could stream along with them. So that kind of goes with it. I've done try to do some like IRL things. Haven't really gotten. I want to do more, but I think it's just hard with my nature of work, just because it would be like something doing as I'm traveling, but then I'm like, all right, gotta go, I'm working, or I would get a work call somehow in the middle of it. So that's really hard. And then when I'm at home, I mean, last thing I'm thinking about is setting up something to do. Like at one point I wanted to do a cooking stream, but then it's like I live with people too, so that's kind of hard. My roommates don't want to be on camera, or the conversations that are being had in the other room type thing. So
right, I feel that, but that makes me curious. You talk about doing a cooking stream. What would be the ChyyGuyy famous dish that you would cook for the Twitch channel? Do you have like a single dish in mind, like Chyy's famous?
I don't know. It'd be a bunch of different things. I just love to cook because, I mean, background story, I've been to culinary school. I went to culinary school. I also grew up in the kitchen with my grandmother, so it'd be just a plethora of things cooking, new recipes to try out. I give the recipe out. I probably wouldn't follow it because I don't follow recipes too much.
Okay.
I use recipes more as guidelines. But not really follow them unless you're baking. Baking, you have to follow the recipe. You can't fuck it up.
Right. I've heard that.
And I hate baking.
Cooking, you can throw a little bit more fucking cream in there if you want, but like baking, it'll fucking come out flat if you don't put exactly what they tell you to. Yeah.
Too salty, not flavorful enough. Like, I mean, I'm a great baker when I do bake. Like, I've made zucchini bread from scratch. I've made cookies from scratch where, like, I don't buy box things. If I'm baking half the time, I'll just make it from scratch. Like, most of the time, you have most of those ingredients in your pantry. You have flour, you have sugar, you have eggs most of the time. Most people always have vanilla extract, on hand. Just those things.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because I noticed when I was just kind of not only going through your Twitch chats, but going through like your Twitter as well. And your Twitter handle is actually Chef Shy. And I don't think I ever really paid attention to that, because I think it's just ChyyGuyy. There's a difference between your handle and like the name that everybody sees. You know what I mean? And so anytime I see you on Twitter, it's ChyyGuyy. But I actually looked. I tried to @ you, and I'm like, Chef Shy. No shit. I don't like. I'm sure I noticed it before, but just seeing it again, I'm like, I guess I forgot about that. So how long did you go to culinary school?
It's been some time. It was right after high school. I've been out of high school now for a minute.
I would say, you don't have to.
I don't need to throw years in there, but I went right after high school. I actually went to culinary school in LA, in Santa Monica.
Really?
I did that for about a year, and then financial things happened with certain things, so I had to leave and go back to my hometown. But
it happens to the best of us.
I got some good experience out of it. I mean, I've always grown up in the kitchen. I've never had not anybody like my cooking that I've cooked for, and I've cooked for varieties of friends and people and stuff. So it's not like someone's like, oh, this is horrible, this is bad. I mean, one of my old roommates, I got to eat salmon again because of how I cooked it. Because she's like, I don't like it. I was like, well, you haven't tried mine. So and she's
Are you allowed to say the secrets of your like? You don't have to give us a step by step, but is it like a little extra lemon or a
a
little
chef
extra
never
like
gives away their secrets.
valid? But
Take
I
it to
am
the.
curious.
It's already in my cookbook. I have my own book that I write recipes in, just
Really?
to have, and I don't ever put in anything extra. Like it's just a basic one. Somebody's asked me for like a basic recipe. I'm not gonna give you my goodies. That's going to the grave.
You're like, Google it, bitch. I don't know what to tell you.
It's going to the grave unless I have kids and I'll pass it down.
Right? I know that makes me want to try some food from the chef now. So, I mean, everybody. Here's one that's random because I know when my dad used to make meatloaf when I was younger, he would make it in a weird way. He wouldn't make.
So
he wouldn't put like. I don't want to give away the secrets, but he would put salsa in it.
Okay.
He would dump salsa in it, so you have like some chunks in there of like tomato or whatever the salsa had, and to give you a more of a tomato-based flavor that also pairs well with ketchup when you use the ketchup on it. Now, are you a barbecue sauce meatloaf guy or a ketchup meatloaf guy?
I'm both. My grandma's always made both. She's always made more with ketchup. The funny thing is, talking about meatloaf, I just called her the other day to ask her for her recipe for meatloaf because I don't eat very many people's meatloaves, and she's like, I'll give you the basics. I'm like, come on, Grandma, I'm your grandchild. She goes, I won't give it away. I was like, all right. She goes, you'll figure it out.
Exactly. And then it's your recipe.
Those,
yeah.
She gave me the baseline and stuff. So, and taking, using different meat for a healthier alternative. You don't want to use ground beef. You can use ground turkey.
Okay.
I mean, ground turkey actually has, if you cook it right and flavor it well enough. I mean, sometimes I use ground turkey for a lot of things. For like, if I want to be lazy and make I call them white boy tacos. Sorry if I offend anybody out there, but or even burritos. I'll use ground turkey if I don't want to do red beef. I try to stay away from red meat as much as I can. Even though I love steak, but But yeah, I know that I forget things. I still have the chef in it, especially when it comes to especially emails that I use, because I have an email that has like Chef Shy in it. And so it's like, oh shit, what email did I use? I was like, I made that forever ago though. That's the thing. Like, I made this. It's been well over a decade, which is also crazy to think.
So I just made a poll in chat. What do you put on your meatloaf, ketchup or barbecue? I didn't want to put both because I figured if I put both, everyone's just going to select both. No, we are drawing a line in the sand. Barbecue or ketchup, we need to know. Hold on, I'm also going to snap this real quick. So, as someone that doesn't cook a whole lot, now I did used to work in a cafeteria. So, like when it comes to, do you have a Blackstone? The big like a griddle kind of thing, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I wish.
It's think of like the little electric griddles that you can buy that you can kind of just set on the stove. It's not like a big version of that, like a what do they call it? Like a
I've worked I've been in restaurant. I was a server and a bartender. I've worked in the back of the house too, so I know exactly what you're talking
where you're
about.
Like ching ching ching, like kind of like hibachi, like the hibachi table or whatever. But I can cook stuff on that, like Philly cheesesteaks, quesadillas, stuff like that. As someone that doesn't cook much, that is kind of just very specific on what I feel like I'm good at cooking, like I'll try my hand at anything, you know what I mean? That's something going on up here. We're like, yeah, I can make that, no problem. That's something going wrong up here, sure. But there are things that I can make good. As someone that doesn't cook a lot, or maybe for someone else that doesn't cook a whole lot either, is there any sort of tips or tricks as someone that is knowledgeable as you could kind of give to someone that maybe isn't, as knowledgeable?
Well, I also think it stands because there's a lot of people who are good at so like, I will say I'm not the best at grill. I can grill, I'm not the best at it. I'm better on a stove. I can cook, I can bake something. I'm a better cooker in the kitchen than I am outside on the stove. Some people could be a better baker than a cooker. They bake honestly, for me as a baker, you have to have the patience and the time. Sometimes I don't want the patience or the time for baking. I like to think that I'm on a cooking show like Top Chef or Bobby, Challenge Against Bobby Flay. I want to make that food and get it pumping and get it out. It's like, here's your food, let's go. I'm not like well, we got about 3 more hours until that's ready, type thing.
Where's the lamb sauce?
I'm not waiting. It's literally that. I'm all over the place. But I would say for basic cooking, I mean, recipes are meant for that. I would say if you follow it correctly. Don't get spicy and try to do your own thing yet until you're comfortable with it.
Right. So you're saying like get the recipe down, cook it a couple times, get used to what it is, and if you feel like if it needs a little more this or a little bit more of that, then start to play with it a little bit?
Well, then it also depends on your stove. I mean, electric cooks differently than a gas stove.
What do you prefer?
I prefer a gas stove.
Really?
But
okay.
I've lived in most places with electric, so I know how to cook on electric, obviously. But those do cook differently. Temperatures do get different on those, hot-wise. Well, I wouldn't say hot-wise, but it does definitely vary. It would be the same with a gas or electric or oven too, really, or a conventional, or just a conventional oven. I mean, there is a difference with the ovens. One has a fan in it, one doesn't. It just cooks. And I would say don't try to trying to do like a 5-course meal for your first time cooking. Start basic. Right. Do spaghetti. Spaghetti's the easiest thing to do. Your meat, your sauce, cook your noodles. The one thing is just don't overboil noodles because they taste overcooked. You kind of want to get them almost to the al dente. My secret to boiling noodles is I do pot of water. I do some olive oil. So you pour some olive oil on it because it actually helps with them not sticking together. And then I do garlic salt to flavor the noodles a little bit and then reflavor them. But that's just my little hand.
I mean, it's the old like wives' tale, throw a noodle at the wall, and if it sticks or if it doesn't stick, what is it? I can't remember. I don't like throwing noodles at the fucking wall. You know what I mean? So I don't really remember what it is. But when do you know that? Yo, Amy, thank you so much for the sub. How are you doing tonight, girl? Welcome in. Asa. When do you know that the noodles are done?
Oh, I take one out and I eat one. I eat it, and if it's at the right consistency that I wanted, the chewiness, or it's not undercooked where it's still hard, or if it's overcooked where it's like rubbery, that's how I do it. I eat the noodle. I don't throw stuff at the wall because who's going to clean that up?
Right? Yeah, you're just giving yourself a mess to clean up. So, do you think meatloaf needs eggs?
Yes.
Yes, that's like non-negotiable.
Yes. I would say non-negotiable. I think the egg actually is what keeps it together.
Yeah, gives it the base. Okay.
Well, it keeps it formed because the egg cooked. So because it's not cooking like an actual egg where you see scrambled eggs. It's just that base to hold it together. I mean, yeah, you're adding breadcrumbs to it. That kind of helps form it, but I think the egg's important.
So breadcrumbs or oats or both?
I would say breadcrumbs. I've
never used
over oats. Yeah, I've never.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people I know use oats. Use fucking, what was it, Quaker or whatever?
Never heard of that. Sometimes they use panko.
Quaker oats? Hold on, I feel like Quaker oats is like the popular one. It's got like fucking Benjamin Franklin or somebody on it. I don't know who the fuck it is.
I mean, it's not Benjamin Franklin. But
see, Mama Lynn also says no oats. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So hold on, we'll get off the cooking subject. We'll get back to games, but scrambled eggs. Do you need milk in the mixture?
I put a little bit in there.
Is that a non-negotiable the same way with eggs and meatloaf?
I don't think so. I know some people who put water in it.
What? Do you put water in your eggs when you make scrambled eggs?
No.
Okay.
As much as I'm a lactose intolerant person, I put a little bit of milk in it.
Shy, no. Shy, no.
It's only a little bit. It's not enough to upset my stomach. Okay.
Not a lot, baby girl. Just a little bit. Okay.
And I put cheese in it too. So you crack your egg. You do salt. I do salt and pepper. I also put cayenne pepper in mine. Put a little bit of cayenne pepper or some red pepper flakes, and then some cheese.
Do you call your pepper Cheyenne pepper?
No, I don't call it. It's cayenne. I have some friends who call me cayenne because I'm spicy.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're not ChyyGuyy.
No, that just sounds like something else. That's too close to anything, so I'm good.
Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. I'm just curious. Again, so I know you said about the cook streams, you cook a plethora of stuff. So say I'm doing a big road trip, right? I'm driving across the states, and one night I decide, you know what? We're gonna pull in, we're gonna visit ChyyGuyy, and you're gonna cook me a meal. What would you cook me?
Well, first I would ask, what do you like? What are you a picky eater? Do you not like mushrooms?
As long as it
Do you
doesn't
not
have,
like
I do
onions?
not like mushrooms.
So, and that's always a question I ask because I love mushrooms. But I do make, so like, for instance,
Like
I'll
stuffed
make
portobellas is what you make me? Like, fuck!
Well, no, like sometimes in my spaghetti, I chop up mushrooms and I cook it with the meat. Or I put, or for instance, like I think I made enchiladas once for where I'm living now. And I make 2 dishes because I make ones that are not spicy for the weak people. And then I make some that are a little bit more spicy. I like
give me the spice. Give me that spice.
But no, I would ask you, what don't you like? What are you in the mood for? Because I can cook almost pretty much anything. So I always base it off of what my company wants. It's not what I want. It's off of what my company wants.
Valid.
I do make a great Alfredo sauce from scratch.
Ooh, yes, I'd try that. I'd want that. I'd want to try.
I have to take latte pills.
Sauce.
Lots of heavy cream, but when I'm wanting to cook, I make a lot of things from scratch. I mean, so the secret to most sauces, there's 5 mother sauces. They call it 5 mother sauces. There's your white sauce, which is mainly you can use for an Alfredo or a cheese sauce. Your tomato sauce, you can use for a marinara or whatever kind of red sauce you want. There's all kinds of different sauces. So you have they call them the mother sauces because those are your bases. Those are your base sauces for whatever dish you're going to make. I made gumbo from scratch. Making roux sucks. Roux suck. If you've never made a roux, talk about sucking. Because depending on what color you want, you have to pay attention to it and whisk it all the time. And if you mess up, that thing is fucked up. Like, you're done. Start over. Hey, look, ketchup won the poll, by the way.
Ketchup won the poll? Okay. So, do you think roux is the hardest thing to try and make, or do you think there's something that exceeds in difficulty?
I don't think it's the hardest thing to make. I just know it's a pain in the ass. It's a lot of... You have to pay attention. If you step away from it for 1 second, you can fuck it up in innocence. Especially depending on what you're using that roux for, what you're making. So, like, a cheese sauce, you don't want to step away from that thing for a minute. If you're making more of a gumbo, because you're wanting more of a browner sauce, you'll leave it for a little bit. But you have to pay attention to it. But it's also the consistent of when to add more milk or add more flour to make it. So you have to know what you're doing pretty much.
Right.
Yes,
that's not something you can really win.
It's like folding the cheese. Fold the cheese. Well, how do you fold the cheese? If you ever seen Schitt's Creek, a little Schitt's Creek reference there.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Catherine O'Hare. But
Yeah, R.I.P. I've actually had someone telling me that I need to watch Schitt's Creek. She's been trying to get me to watch it.
It's hilarious. It's a really good show.
So, I'm fucking hungry now. God damn it.
Why do you think I did some popcorn before?
Aaron, what's up, man? I saw, dude.
I need a little snack pack.
That's fair. It's actually a thing for me. Anytime like I watch a movie, I gotta have me a little snack. Like, not always popcorn, sometimes popcorn, but I just need me something. Just as if I'm watching a movie, I just need a little snack. Just a little snack, something.
Snack.
Okay, so moving on to your number 7 is Among Us at 47 hours or 4%. So what draws you to Among Us? Is it just the simplicity style? Do you have a lot of friends that you played with, or do you just like lying to people?
No. Okay, first off here, that was that kind of podcast. No, I do not like lying to people. Let me make that clear right now. Because this is on the internet, it stays forever. No, it was more just because everybody played it. It was just the party game that everybody played and stuff. And
Kitty still plays it.
Oh, I know. She's trying to ask me to play it a couple times. I think I played a couple times with her. But, it's just one of those games that if you have a lot of people and you're wanting to play games with, that's the game to go to most of the time.
Yeah.
Now we have, Jackboxes that everybody can play, which we'll be playing on next week. But, it was just one of those games that we played a lot. Obviously, that's why it's number 7. I don't play it all that much or stream it anymore.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because now they're coming out with, or no, I was going to say it's a show, not a new game. They're coming out with an Among Us show. Do you have any interest in that, or no?
No.
Okay, that's valid.
No, sometimes some things just doesn't need to be a show or a movie, in my opinion.
Here's a question. If Amy sends you a meatloaf recipe she finds on Google, will you tell her if it's like a good recipe or a bad recipe?
Sure.
Am I allowed to text you if this is a good recipe or a bad recipe?
Yeah, anytime. Now, you have to, with me, responses might be a little delayed. Just because I have 2 phones. I have a work phone and a personal phone.
2 phones.
This phone is my work phone that goes off a lot, so I constantly am on this one. So my personal phone kind of goes on the wayside, so you just have to be patient with my responses. I usually get back to you within the couple hours or the day.
Within 1 or 2 business days.
No. I don't ever go that long. Unless you're somebody I don't want to talk to, then I leave you on red. But that's besides the point.
No wonder why you never text me.
Oh, shut up. You've never texted me. But no, anytime. I mean, people call me because of also the nature of my job. I get calls all the time from my friends because they're like, well, should I do this? Am I allowed to do this and do this? How do I do this? So it's just one of those things. I've never in my entire life eaten meatloaf. I have no idea what's good or not. Meatloaf for me is a comfort because when I was a kid, my grandma made it. And it was meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and she make her green beans, and she does something to her green beans that are so good. I don't know what it is to this day, but they were that was the dinner. And I loved her meatloaf. And I don't really eat other people's meatloaf, even like going out to restaurants. Like if I see it in the menu, I'm like, I'm not feeling that adventurous.
Because meatloaf is something I think that is easy to fuck up. Honestly.
Oh, 1000%.
I think there's a lot of bad meatloafs out there.
Especially if you're putting quicker oats on it. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh, y'all Flashy.
Hi, Flashy.
I saw, dude. How are you doing tonight, cutie? Welcome in. Excuse me. Okay, I do have we've already touched base on it a little bit because you said you didn't even have your own PC until a year or 2 after you made your Twitch account. So I'm curious, what was your initial setup when you first got your PC versus what it is now? Do you think are you still rocking the same setup?
I'd say for the most part, I think the only thing that's really changed is my computer itself, like upgrade it wise, be able to run games and handle a bunch of stuff that I do. I'm not the most techie person, so I have to ask everybody else about specs if they think it's good enough for what I want to do. That's about it. I mean, I have, the camera, the mic set up, I have a stream deck that I got actually a couple years ago for a birthday that my community gave to me. I would say the only thing I would want to add is another monitor. I want 3 monitors.
Yeah.
I would love 1 more monitor. I think it would make my life just a little bit more easier just for what I do and how I operate on my computer every day with, I have, for instance, Discord's on one screen, I have Twitch on another. If I can use a 3rd one just for something else, I think that would be great.
Ooh, so can you rate Flashy's meatloaf recipe right there. Does that sound like a solid foundation for a recipe?
Oh, I've never tried brown sugar, but yeah. Onions, garlic, gotta have the onion. So I always cook with onions and garlic. That will always be. So in cooking, there's a thing called mirepoix. Mirepoix is carrot, celery, and onion. That's basically what most people use for like soups and all that stuff. It's called a mirepoix because that's usually the basics of cooking. So my mirepoix is onions and garlic. So you're already on a great start. But yes, and Worcestershire, or I like to call wash that ass in the shower sauce.
Wash that ass in the shower sauce.
Such a mouthful, you know. Might as well just make it fun.
Right, absolutely.
You know, Flashies, I can see the brown sugar doing that, especially because when you bake brown sugar, it caramelizes too, and it gives you that nice crust. So do you put it on top or you put it in your mix? Because I could also see the brown sugar being a great caramelizer. So like making candy bacon. I used to do like brown sugar and cayenne pepper on bacon, and yeah, on top. So you're doing it right. Yeah, no. I would say that's a good one. Yep. See, you already knew the candy bacon idea. I want to do a bacon wrap one.
Ooh, bacon wrap? Oh. Well, we gotta stop talking about food. I'm getting fucking like legitimate. I'm getting like really fucking hungry now. Okay. So, yeah. So, someone in chat, say it's a rando, nobody that we know, right? They come into chat and they ask, ChyyGuyy, I want to start streaming. What do I need to know? What would you tell them?
I would say learn. Well, it's a different of things, really. I mean, knowing what to use. I know a lot of us use OBS. OBS is better than Streamlabs. Now that I've made the switch, I would say yes. OBS is a lot better than Streamlabs.
I would agree.
I would watch tutorial videos, honestly. There's a lot of things that I have learned on my own just by watching YouTube and doing it side by side. This is also why I like having multiple monitors so I can go with the video as it goes. I would say start off with a game. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a game or whatever you want to do. I just come and be energetic, have a personality, don't just be meh. You know, I mean, not saying you have to be over the top, crazy, and jumping out of your seat like you're Oprah or something, but
right,
you know,
right.
I mean, because there's different styles of streamers out there, though. There's different styles how everybody does things, and I would always say networking, going into other streams, rating people that you don't know. You know, I would say in the last 7 years, I think that I made such a foundation of networking and variety of people that I know that are different in every way. We all walk different walks of life, but we also play different games, or we're all in there just BSing in Discord. I mean, there's so many groups, and I always feel bad if I'm not like in one Discord enough talking to people, or you know, I pop in, I haven't been in a while. I'm like, hi guys, how's it going? But it's never been like. They've never made me feel awkward about, you know, hey, you haven't been here in a long time, where the fuck have you been, type thing. It's like you pick up where you left off, and I think yes, there's some things about Twitch that some of us might not agree in how they do things, but I also think it's a great way to network and meet new people. I mean, there's also been, you know, there's been some meetups that people do, streamer meetups. There's been, you know, not just going to TwitchCon, you know, spending that money to go to TwitchCon. There's ways that, you know, all of us are comfortable enough to either meet at someone's house or get an Airbnb and do things. I mean, I've been invited to weddings off of people that I met off of Twitch that I've become close with. You know, at the end of the day, we're all the same people. We might live in different states, different time zones, different parts of the country, but we're all the same person. Right. And I think really networking and talking to folks and even asking questions. I mean, obviously make sure you read chat rules and chats before you start asking questions or talking about your streams, because a lot of people don't want the self-promotion type thing. But, you know, really, you know, going to that streamer's stream and hanging out, getting to know them a little bit, and then trying to build that personal, you know, comfort, and maybe talking offline of like, hey, what are you doing on your stream? What are you doing in OBS? How are you doing this? How are you making this work? Type thing, you know?
I feel you.
I don't know. I would have to say I've been very lucky in the last 7 years of the people who I do consider my friends that, you know, I can text or call or just go into Discord and just, even if I'm sitting there muted and quiet, it's just nice to be around those folks, you know?
I feel you. Okay. So we are going to try this new segment. This is the first time we've ever done it, so I don't know if we'll keep it. Sort of a rapid fire type of thing, but I guess actually before we do this, I do have a question. Just in general, is there any games that you enjoy playing? Also, Ducky Duck, how you doing tonight, man? What's up, cutie? Are there any games that you like to play that you just don't really think are like stream appropriate, or you don't think would make a good stream or anything like that? Games you kind of play kind of almost strictly offline?
No, because
or like maybe if it's online, but you get what I'm saying, not on stream.
Yeah, not on stream. No, there hasn't been a game that I haven't played that's only strictly offline. The games that I play on stream are games that I play when I'm not streaming.
Okay. Okay.
I've never, because no, there's nothing I could think of. I have a lot of games in my Steam library, but I don't play a lot of them. Just because I'm used to my. I also like to my normalcy. I do a little bit of change, but not a lot of change, if that makes sense.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. Okay. So we're going to try something that's a little bit more rapid fire. I mean, you can definitely take as much time as you want, but we'll start off with probably the two that's going to take you the most time to think about. What are your top 3 games of all time? In any random order. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3.
Of all time and just in general?
Just in general, like... not of your stream games or anything like that. Just games that you played, top 3 of all time. And like I said, in any random order. You don't have to give a definite like number 1 or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Excuse me.
Honestly, it's really the 2 games I play the most and that I really like and care for is DBD and Marvel Rivals. The third one is, I don't know, it's a little up in the air because I play so many other ones. Like I've dabbled a little bit in Phasmophobia. I've dabbled a little bit in a game called The Other Side that's like Phasmophobia. That's a brand new game that they're building, and that's been fun to play that and see them advance that game. I've done Pummel Party. I've done Golf with Friends. I've done all those things. I would only say really top 2 that I have is Dead by Daylight and Marvel Rivals. The third one is, I would say it's a revolving door.
Fair. Valid. Okay, so what about top 3 movies?
Somebody just asked me about this earlier today.
Well, I'm glad it's fresh in your mind.
Well, it was hard to come up with an answer. I would say, first and foremost, my favorite movie of all time is Hercules, just because I grew up on it. A lot of people will say Lion King. Yes, I love The Lion King, but Hercules has always been one of my favorites.
Or you can just give me, it doesn't have to be specifically 3. You can just give me a couple that you like really love. Like, we don't have to cap it at 3. And like I said, you don't have to number them, but just some of your favorite movies.
I mean, who doesn't love Shrek? Shrek is a classic. It's an oldie but a goodie. Never dies.
This is my swamp.
That's a nice boulder. And honestly, I would say Norbit. Norbit's pretty funny. I love Norbit. How you doing? Eddie Murphy.
Classic Eddie Murphy.
You want to see a skin fish go down the slide? I'll show you a skin fish go down the slide.
But slants through the fucking fence.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh my god.
Love it.
Okay, so let's pick up the pace a little bit. What's your favorite color?
Green.
What was your first concert?
First actual concert, I would say Lionel Richie with Earth, Wind, and Fire opening for them.
Oh, shit.
And that was like 3 years ago.
Dude, if I heard September live, dude, I would need weights to keep this ass from like being thrown in a circle, dude. I can't even. Hold on,
It
sorry,
was
I got sidetracked.
it was a great concert.
So, what was your first car?
99 Chevy Suburban.
The Suburban, little SUV. Okay. Who's your favorite video game character? Do you have a singular favorite?
I don't.
That's valid. What about the hottest video game character?
I would say, well, the new Leon in the new Resident Evil, he can get it.
Dude.
I didn't play the game, but I've seen a lot of gameplay, and he can get it.
Right. Just some of them cutscenes, you're like, oh, okay.
I'm like, hello there, Leon.
That's totally valid. That's all I've got so far in the rapid fire. Like I said, we're still evolving the podcast. So
I was waiting. You say I was ready.
We're still ready. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. Okay, so what was the last movie you saw in theaters?
Toy Story 5. I went with my best friend.
How would you rank Toy Story 5 in the entire series?
I never saw 4, so I can't tell you what 4 looked like.
I never watched 4. I haven't seen 4 or 5.
I saw 5 because my best friend wanted to go. I didn't see 4. I would say it's down there. It's in the ranks, but I wouldn't say it was like, oh my god, amazing.
Right.
It was good. It was funny. You know, I think watching certain like movies, like kid movies, I would say, if you want to classify them like that, you know, Toy Story 5, you know, any movie that comes out that's been out for a while is mainly us millenniums. But I would say now that to be older to catch the adult humor that you didn't catch before, it's great that they add in adult humor and to understand why they added in for the adults to, you know, stay engaged and not just, you know, yeah, they're there with their kids, but there's just little things where in that movie theater, their adults were chuckling at things. The kids were kind of like, what's so funny? You know, type things.
Oh, that's tough for me because I really liked Toy Story 3, but it's a fucking devastating movie.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
1 and 2 I really enjoyed. I mean, I haven't watched any of them in like a really long time, but 3, like, fucking... It's rare that a movie can like have me weep as an adult. Like when you're a kid, you know, you watch any of the Disney movies, you cry when the parents inevitably die because they always do in Disney movies.
Oh, not right? As a kid, I didn't. I was an evil kid. People thought I had no emotions.
When what was it? Kurt, Jack, and Tarzan died. Like he was an asshole the whole movie, but when he died at the end, you're like, oh, dude. At least I was. Or like
I was all.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He was a dick this entire movie. He's a dick the whole movie, dude. But in Toy Story 3, there's 2 segments where I'm just like, I don't know. I'm
such a baby now at things. Anything like, even if it's just even throughout the movie, it's something touchy. I'm just like already crying. Like, I don't know where this. I call it my wham side, my emotional side. So I'm crying at just stupid shit that I should be crying. I'm like, why am I crying right now? It happens.
That's fair. Okay. We are actually almost done, ChyyGuyy. I gotta say, this has been a fucking great conversation so far. But this is the final segment, and this is the Shots Fired segment. Is there any controversial take that you have that you would like to express about Twitch streams, like Twitch in general, Twitch streamers? Like, what's a potentially hot take you'd like to get off your chest?
I don't really have one too much because I'm not. I would say because I don't stream all that much. I only stream a couple days a week. It's not like I'm a full-time streamer. Like, I can see maybe some of their frustrations with things. But I mean,
or something that makes you just frustrated in general. Yeah, maybe just about the Twitch platform itself.
I haven't had any problems with Twitch though, so I don't see. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying I haven't had any issues really. I've never had anything come against me, so I don't really have a complaint. Like, I didn't try to go to any other streaming sites, especially like when Kick came out, it was like big. But I've always said with Twitch, I've thought about streaming on TikTok, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to add on that X because there's certain things you can't say and do, and I'm just like, then I would get banned. I know that because I have a potty mouth, and my stream is for 18 and plus, so no little kids be coming in there because I don't have a perfect mouth.
That's not what I heard.
I have a raunchy mouth. At least my roommates know that I have one, especially when I'm playing off stream.
Right, yeah.
But I honestly don't have any problems with it. I say one of the biggest things I did like is that they added turbo that you can just pay for. And like, I have so many people that I follow on Twitch that I would love to subscribe to. I just can't afford it.
Yeah. $12 a month versus $50 a month because you subscribe to everybody you want to watch. Yeah. It's totally fair.
And I pass my Prime sub around to everybody. It's not just going to one person. I pass it to throughout my friends too, just to throw it in there. But I will say I do like the turbo effect of it. That would be the biggest thing for me. I mean, right now is I love the turbo. That's just a great thing to have because I can still watch everybody, and everybody still benefits off the turbo. So you still get revenue from it.
How about that? I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, but you're the first one to be like, nah, I don't have anything to say. What a wholesome young man. How about that? Okay, before we get out of here, I believe there's a birthday coming up. Did you want to plug that at all and talk about it before we get out of here?
Yeah, I would love to. So I am doing a birthday stream next Saturday, July 25th. We're starting at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we're going until about 9 to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So it's going to be a 12-hour stream. We're playing, I believe, 8 different party games. Oh. So there will be Jackbox, there will be Lockdown Protocol, there will be Pummel Party, Golf with Friends type thing. And we have incentives going out. So I have different incentives for different goals. So like every 1 gifted sub or 500 biddies, you get your name on a balloon. Every 5 subs, you get stickers. I have these stickers that actually just came in Amazon today. So the last of my birthday stuff is finally here. I put them on my face or anywhere. And that's reasonable in TOS. And then I also, up to, I think I did 10 gifted subs. I do a temporary tattoo. Got these cool temporary tattoos that I'm going to place on my body because I need something quick to come off as I have to go to work the next day. Or the following day. And then I also have a special costume that I'm going to wear. I was going to start off in it in stream, but I figured I would wait to see what happens. And it's not a cosplay, but it's definitely a costume. I think you'll get a good chuckle out of people. So yeah, that's what we're doing next Saturday.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And count me in on some of them Jackbox games. Do you know which Jackbox you're going to play, or kind of just bounce around?
Between 4 and 6, unless whoever's there has other ones. That's probably going to be more towards the ending of streams. That's mainly to a lot of everybody's around and doing stuff later in that day. So that will definitely be it. I haven't really put a time down when I'm doing games. It's basically based off of who's around, who wants to play type thing.
Kind of just going with the flow.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, ChyyGuyy, I want to thank you so much for being our 3rd guest on the Ballroom Banter podcast. You were an amazing guest. We had an amazing conversation. And is there any last, any final things you'd like to say before we get out of here?
No, I just appreciate you inviting me on and being here and talking to everybody. And hope you all have a good day and a good week.
Amen to that. All right. Get us out of here, ChyyGuyy.